I will be on the lookout for that and let you know as soon as we do have any other reports from anyone on the ground who is able to see anything visually.
All right, thank you, Brandon. Of course, we're watching as it moves through, producing quite a bit of that heavy rainfall. A lot of people we're seeing are in that area. We're seeing Keller is going to be the next area it is currently going for. So if you're in Keller along Highway 1, Louisiana Highway 1, you're definitely going to want to get into your safe area. And if you don't know where that is, you definitely want to get into the innermost room. We're seeing if you do have a basement, that's always the best. But if you do not, the innermost room away from any windows, you definitely want to duck and cover. You kind of remember that from elementary school where you would do those tornado drills. This is probably a good time to do that as well. Looking for Keller, we're seeing Angola Landing as well, Smithland and Williamsport. Those areas are getting quite a bit of heavy rainfall. Looks to be tracking a little bit north for them, but this is a pretty fast moving storm, about 30 miles per hour. So we're going to keep watching this as we head into the rest. We have till 2 p.m. We're currently about 40 minutes still out to see if they're going to keep this storm as it's held its strength even as it's moved out of St. Landry Parish and into Point Capee Parish. We're still seeing some activity. Actually, further south, we kind of zoom out a little. We're still seeing to New Roads is under that tornado watch till 7 p.m. That's why we're watching for the rest of this afternoon and into the evening. Even seeing that we have a severe thunderstorm warning out further north. And we're going to be watching that. We could be seeing some more of that activity going to the afternoon and into your evening. Get another quick look, zoom in. You can kind of see how it started out further out towards the St. Landry Parish, then moved into this Point Capee Parish, and is going to be headed towards Wilkins County, towards Mississippi. We're going to be seeing that strong, heavy rainfall, some strong winds with that. And we'll see that there is some rotation of that we're seeing right here. We're taking a look at the storm winds. You can take a look. Let's see if I can get you guys right there. We're seeing that's where we're going to be watching as the storms push through, and that's just crossing currently over Highway 417, if you know where that is, and is expected to be in the next couple minutes getting to Louisiana Highway 1. And we're going to watch to see how it kind of holds together and keeps the strength of this storm. Haven't had confirmed, but we're going to be watching, keep an eye on social media, both on the National Weather Service, what they see as we go through this rest of it. But we do watch this storm that has that warning again till 2 p.m. Point Capee Parish, they do have it into Wilkins County as well. Kind of get ahead of this storm. You can take a look. We're seeing going to start to impact Highway 15 as well. If you know with some of these roads out there, you'll want to avoid them. And if you're in those areas, we're seeing Williamsport, Keller definitely needs to already be in their safe area. Angola Landing as well needs to be in that. We're seeing Angola also getting some heavy rainfall. The heaviest part of that storm looks to be tracking north of that, but we're going to keep our eyes, definitely want to have that. You are under the tornado warning. We're seeing from Angola Landing, Lettsworth, and all the way out to Jacoby. We're seeing under that warning, again, till 2 p.m. for Point Capee Parish. Heavy rainfall. We're seeing radar indicated about an inch in hail. We're going to want you in the innermost room. You're going to want to definitely do the duck and cover. If you remember that from your school days where you would hunch down, you want to do that as well to protect yourself while this storm is pushing through. It's literally about 30 miles per hour. So this is what we're going to be tracking for the next couple of minutes. We're seeing still about 40 minutes out if they're going to keep this, and it looks like they are. National Service is going to probably extend this warning into the rest of Wilkins County and into Mississippi because they're seeing there's even more energy in that atmosphere over there. That's why they have that enhanced risk that we were talking about early this morning. Because right now we're seeing Highway 1, Keller. You guys are definitely going to want to be in your safe area if you haven't gotten there already. Same for Lettsworth. We're seeing Red River Landing, Taurus Landing, and Taurus as well. You guys are going to want to get in your safe area. That is going to be the innermost room. You're going to want to make sure to stay away from windows. You're going to want to hunker down, and we're going to want to keep your phone nearby as we can update you guys with this tornado warning as it progresses. Again, a lot of it's radar indicated. We haven't heard any confirmation, but it is producing quite a bit of strong winds. We're seeing large hail. We're seeing a large amount of rainfall as this storm progresses through the Point Capee Parish. currently just getting to Highway 1. We're going to watch as it progresses, moving northeast into Wilkins County, and it's pretty much holding together, so we're expecting it to continue to hold as we continue the rest of your afternoon. See if Brandon has any updates from anybody out there, because we've been seeing the storms kind of just staying the same, but it's just slowly moving across Point Capee Parish as we speak.
Yeah, Jay. Yeah, not seeing any updates on the tornado warning storm as if we have any confirmation of any tornadoes hitting ground level, if it's still just a funnel cloud. Haven't seen any confirmation of that just yet. The storm that is severe warned in the yellow box just to the northwest of the Point Capee storm is seeing some radar indicated hail of about 1 inch, as that one is, again, severe warned. And if you zoom out, Jay, on the kind of big picture, you really just kind of see these cells kind of popping up over where that watch is. And we're going to have to watch out for all these storms as they develop and try to get stronger, because any of them could become severe as you go throughout the day, because there is still a rather favorable environment for severe weather today. We do have decent amount of wind shear that can help support tornadoes in this area where the watch is indicated. So these storms could have some broad rotation. We'll have to keep an eye on these. And again, we do have that tornado warning for the storm, and currently in Point Capee Parish that will be heading toward the northeast into Wilkinson and Mississippi, and as well as West Feliciana. So again, not seeing any confirmation yet of anything touching ground, possibly still just a funnel and still radar indicated, but it is best to get into your safe room now and be prepared. If you have a helmet, that would be a good idea to put on, because again, if anything does break down and you get debris flying around you, you want to protect your head and neck as your most important to protect. So a helmet is a good idea. If you have some cushions to get into your safe space with, as well as a mattress, that could be a good idea as well to help protect you if this does reach ground and does unfortunately hit a building or anything like that you are in. You want to make sure that you're protected from anything falling down from debris wise. So a helmet would be a good idea into your most interior room of your house, away from those windows. And if you have any cushions to help protect yourself from any debris, that would be also a great idea. Jay?
Yeah, and that's the thing is, like Brandon said, we're watching this as we go into the rest of the afternoon and into the evening. We're going to be still seeing storms like this kind of popping up, building up in strength. Even if we're not under that tornado watch, it's until 7 p.m. when you see it kind of stops just outside the Baton Rouge parishes. We can still see some strong storms moving in for them as we go into our afternoon, because you can see already along 10, we're seeing some of those showers, seeing a few storms. They're not strong just yet, but as you look further north, that plenty of favorable atmosphere. We're seeing Woodville getting hit with some heavy rainfall. Another strong storm that's looking to be having some, moving about 25 miles per hour with some hail as well. Those are the big threats that we were watching leading up to this event, was hail, and of course leading to strong winds. We're seeing close to about a quarter of an inch to an inch with that hail, which is a big thing that causes a lot of damage. Again, we're looking about 20 to a little bit 25 minutes still left in this warning, and they're probably going to be extending it because we see it gets just right into the Wilkins, Mississippi County. They'll be extending it into probably going to be including Woodville and along 61 and that next couple areas. So we see we're going to look probably 2 o'clock. They're going to extend it further northeast towards Woodville and Highway 61. And again, it's producing quite a bit of a heavy rainfall. We're seeing some strong winds. We're going to see some large hail, and we're going to watch to see it is moving at about 30 to 33, 35 miles per hour. We'll put a quick little lapse on that. You can kind of see it started out outside of the Point Capee, and we've been watching it all as it progressed into our area. Going to be producing heavy rainfall. It's just now crossing Highway 1. Get a quick zoom in right there. We're seeing Highway 1 clear some of this out. Watch and see where Red River Landing, Angola Landing, and Angola are seeing quite a bit of heavy rainfall. Keller, it looks like the heaviest with all that hail. And where the radar indicated some of that, little bit of that rotation is just south of it. This is all radar indicated. We're going to be watching that move across Highway 1 right now. Going to be getting to Red River Landing in the next couple of minutes. And it kind of keeps progressing, cutting across Highway 1. We're seeing Highway 418, getting to Angola Landing, River Red Landing, and continue to further move into the Wilkins County. Angola is getting hit with quite a bit of rain as well. So even if you aren't seeing some of these strong winds and heavy rainfall, you're still seeing some out there. We're going to, of course, watch the strong winds, about 30 to 35 miles per hour. Taking a look again at this storm. Progressing northeast, it's been coming in from the southwest, moving throughout that area pretty much this afternoon. We're still going to watch for more conditions to kind of stay favorable, because they have a severe thunderstorm warning just north of this storm. And we're going to watch even further south. We're seeing along some heavier rainfall. Woodville just getting now some rain as well. Strong storm for them with about half an inch, a little bit less for their hail sizes, moving at 25 miles per hour. All progressing again towards your northeast. If you are in any of those areas that we have been mentioning, we'll again zoom in to show you guys, because Angola Landing, Red River Landing, you guys should already be in your safe area. Taurus as well. We're seeing that's going to be the most inner room or in a basement if you have one. You want to definitely do the duck and cover. You want to protect yourself with any way that you can. Brandon was saying if you have a bicycle helmet or a helmet of any kind, it's always safe, because if this winds, even if we do not see a tornado, the winds can still pick up some debris and keep it moving, and also impact your home, and anything can go through those walls. So we're going to be watching this for the rest of our morning, or rest of our afternoon, because we still have about 30 minutes left on. Actually, they did just update the warning, still towards 2 p.m., and we're going to watch to see if they extend the time, because we still have quite a bit of that. Winds are coming in, and watching kind of right in here where we're seeing that heavy rainfall. We're seeing that wind kind of coming in, giving that little bit of a notch in there, and you can see there's some of that rotation according to our radar that's moving across this area. It's just now crossing Highway 1. We're going to be watching as it gets towards Red River Landing, should all be under their safe area. Same for Angola Landing, same for Taurus, and even moving into Angola, you guys should all be in your safe area. We're going to be seeing quite a bit that's going to be going on. Haven't seen any debris just yet, but again, even if we don't see it here, we could be seeing some stuff being picked up from these strong winds as the storm's moving about 30 to 35 miles per hour through Point Capee Parish. Brandon, do we have any updates on what they're expecting to kind of do? I think they're waiting a little to extend this warning into the Wilkins County, because it's still holding together with that storm.
I believe they are waiting just a tad, just to see when it will, in terms of how fast it is moving, because it is still showing some rather good rotation on radar, as it does have a slight hook feature on reflectivity on there. You can kind of see that hook that is moving just west of around Highway 1, and again that is moving to the northeast. So it does have good presentation on radar for rotation. I would mention that in the warning, there's about a population of about 8,400 people, and there are 3 schools in that area, are in that warning in that area, in those parishes. So we'll make sure that you are in a safe place right now, as it's still a radar indicated rotation, possible tornado. Nothing visually confirmed as of yet. Pea-sized hail is possible as well with this storm in the heaviest parts of. You can see that reflectivity where you see more of those pink colors. We could be seeing some pea-sized hail possible in that region. And again, so it does have really good rotation on it on radar. But again, not really seeing anything in terms of debris on our radar product as of yet. And still no confirmation of anything visually seen. They did extend the severe thunderstorm warning to the storm over to the northwest of the one over Point Capee. So that one did get a severe thunderstorm warning extended for that possible hail of about 1 inch, radar indicated. And I would like to mention the other storm that is just southwest, of Woodville, actually southeast of Woodville, rather. That one right there. That one is showing some broad rotation on radar. There is no warning on it just yet. So that one we may have to watch for it as it attempts to strengthen as it moves to the northeast, Jay.
Right, and that's what we've been talking about kind of this morning, is that the SPC does have us under a slight to enhanced. Let me see if I can pull up our day one, just kind of take a look. So out towards the Point Capee and of course towards the Feliciana and Wilkins, that area is under that enhanced risk. That's why they have that tornado warning, and that's why they were under there earlier this morning. We're seeing everywhere else kind of along 10 and further south, there's still going to be that possibility of seeing some slight to severe thunderstorms as well. So it's something you're going to be wanting to watch throughout the entire rest of your afternoon, because again, this tornado watch, even if we're not included here in Baton Rouge and further south, it's till 7 p.m. That's where we're going to be watching to see some of these storms starting to fire up. We can see some activity as you look a little further south. Just outside of Plaquemine, we're seeing some areas of heavy rainfall, and we'll watch because they haven't had any storms go through, so still plenty of energy there. Same with the storms just past. There's another one popping up just south of where the tornado warning is actually issued. There's a little bit south here. We see another storm that's moving through. It's not going to be getting as strong because a lot of that energy is in that one that's got the tornado warning. Again, this is until 2 p.m. We still got about 25 minutes on this warning, and they're going to be probably extending it. We're waiting to see because it's still holding that little bit of rotation on the radar. Again, this is all radar indicated. We're seeing a little bit of some rotation. We haven't seen any debris being picked up just yet, but that doesn't mean you're out of the woods, because even some winds coming off of this storm can pick up some debris, cause some damage. So if you guys remember what you guys did from elementary school, where you ducked and covered, where you covered the back of your head and your neck, or if you have, like we've been saying, Brandon said, if you have a helmet, you want to be in the innermost room. We're going to be watching that. If you have a basement, also going to be great. Avoid any windows. Try to get into the innermost room if you don't have one. And you want to avoid external walls as well. So be planning for that if you're in these warnings. It's now just getting out of Taurus Landing and River Red Landing. Still moving kind of along Highway 15 into Wilkins right now. Angola is kind of on that one edge. Same for Angola Landing, where they're seeing some heavy rainfall, but that's going to be moving out for them. And we're going to watch to see if this holds together, because you can see there's a little bit of this, a little winds kind of inflowing here. And that's where we're seeing some of that rotation as well. Starting to see it break up a little bit, but there's still some broad rotation we could be watching. This is all radar indicated with this tornado warning. So get into your safe area. We're going to keep watching for the next couple of about 30 minutes we have left to see if they're going to be extending this warning into the Mississippi counties, closer to Woodville along 61. But something to watch is that there are some heavy rainfall kind of getting ahead of it. So it could be taking some of that energy out of that atmosphere as it moves further into our Wilkins County and moving further northeast as well. Heavy rainfall going to be expected for a few of them. We're looking at some hail getting close to about half an inch to an inch. So it's going to be quite a bit of some, if you're probably hearing it, if you're in these areas, Red River Landing, Taurus, Angola Landing. We're still watching, kind of get a really close zoom in. We're seeing along Highway 15, going to be quite a bit of heavy rainfall. It's now just kind of entering the just out of Point Capee into West Feliciana Parish and into Wilkins Parish, or Wilkins County as well. We're going to see if, Brandon, you got any updates, because we're going to watch. They haven't extended. They haven't really said much more, because all we're seeing really is the strong winds and some hail along with this tornado warning.
Yeah, unfortunately, no updates yet from the Weather Service on whether or not they're going to extend that warning or not. But we'll let you know if we do get any updates or if we get any confirmation of an actual tornado. But Ashley, so if you are in place of this warning, where in the house you need to go again?
Well, especially in this situation, you should already be in your safe place, but you want to put as many walls between you and the outside as possible. If you're driving, ideally, obviously, this is not where you want to be. You might be hearing us over the radio right now. We partner with our local iHeart radio stations at Baton Rouge. And then if you're listening on Facebook Live as well, make sure you get into that safe place. So we are looking at you, Wilkinson County, because this is about to cross into
I haven't seen any reports actually of anything confirmed visually yet, but the Weather Service did just extend that tornado warning for West Feliciana Parish as well as Wilkinson, Mississippi, the county there. It is a severe thunderstorm that is capable of producing a tornado. It is still radar indicated, however. It's located roughly around 7 miles east of Simmsport, moving northeast at around 30 miles per hour. So they have just extended the warning for it and extending into Wilkinson County and Mississippi. So we'll have to keep an eye on this. We haven't had any reports, unfortunately, yet, but even the storm just below it is looking to strengthen a little bit just south of this tornado warning storm. So we'll be keeping an eye on all these storms as they continue to try and attempt to organize and strengthen any further. Ashley?
Yeah, we're also looking at one thing we do want to note, being in between radar sites. We have Fort Polk, we have Slidell, we have Lake Charles. It makes it very difficult to see what we have spinning at the surface. And Jay and Brandon were mentioning earlier that a funnel cloud was spotted within this one tornado warned storm. So there's no confirmation if it has touched down just yet, but the environment is still very favorable for tornadoes to develop. And given the fact that we have all the ingredients coming together, these tornadoes, if they do end up developing, they could spin up with little to no warning. That's how quickly this environment is changing, and it's very important to note that these could even be intense tornadoes, not just a quick spin up where it's on the ground for 20 minutes and it jumps from house to house or neighborhood to neighborhood. These could be long track tornadoes, and this is where we actually have that PDS tornado watch, which means particularly dangerous situation. We don't have those all too often. And looking at our threat detector, this is our Barron button. We have this exclusively from Barron. You see those purples. That is indicating perhaps some large hail. Let me switch over so I can show you guys what I'm talking about. That indicates potentially some very large hail, 1 inch hail. And now, Brandon, you are seeing something about a new warning coming, correct?
Yes, that's correct. We are seeing some rotation on the storm that is between Woodville and Centerville. It is moving to the north and northeast. We are going to be seeing a warning issued there, and there is just right now a tornado warning has been issued for that storm between Woodville and Centerville, and it is seeing rotation that's tightening up the past few scans. It is capable of producing a tornado. This is still radar indicated. However, it is moving near Centerville, or about 15 miles north of Jackson, moving northeast at around 30 miles as well. So that one just got a warning. So if you are anywhere around Centerville and Woodville, it is time right now to get into your safe place, away from those exterior windows and exterior walls in that interior room, and get into that safe place as of right now. Ashley?
This is the area of concern that if we switch over to weather 2, you see that right there. So right near Mount Pleasant, we have those greens, we have the reds together, which would tell us that there is some pretty tight rotation coming about with this. So it's in the development stage. This is radar indicated. We could have some hail with this, but generally less than an inch. So this is mainly for the potential for a tornado to quickly spin up with this. And again, Mount Pleasant, that is where we're most concerned of right now. You should be in your safe place. And then looking ahead, even Centerville, it's going to come close, especially these kinds of, we call them supercells. They could drift a little more to the right, essentially. And so that's why we have such a large polygon within this. And so Whitaker, you still want to be in your safe place in case some of these winds really start to pick up, because again, within some of these storms, you have, let me show you guys, you have the winds coming around, and then you have winds coming in, and that's usually when you inbound, outbound winds, and that's usually when the tornado could form. So essentially, the area that we are kind of concerned about right now is right here. And then just to the north, you see where that fuchsia color is, that could certainly be some large hail. And don't go out and looking for this, because these tornadoes, especially in the south, these supercells are usually rain wrapped, and so you can't see much. And especially since we're in the south, we're not in the plains, we have a lot of trees. And so this also makes it especially dangerous if you're driving around, you can't really see it. And so if you are driving, you are listening to us right now, Highway 24 East, and then just west of Highway 33, that's also where we're concerned about. So if you are driving, pull over, find a brick and mortar building that you can get into. Do not go under an overpass. Do not go in a ditch or stay in your car. Your car is one of the most dangerous places that you can be in this situation. So you want to pull over, a gas station even. Just try and get in. That's going to be safer than your car, especially. And then so a heads up to Centerville, Tatum, Gloucester, and then Compromise, Enterprise, Ariel, Berwick. You are included in this warning, even if it passes just to the west, north and west of you. Because again, within this polygon, that's where we could have the potential tornado to move through. And it's not just a tornado you have to worry about, strong winds. You also have to worry about perhaps some hail and then some really heavy rain. And as I mentioned, these supercellular storms, they tend to be rain wrapped, at least down here. So it's going to be hard to see. And even when you have them move through at night, that's even more dangerous. But thankfully it is during the day right now, so at least we can have a better feel of what's going on. I am going to switch back to the other tornado warned storm just to see how it's doing. Is it still spinning? We still have that one tornado warning in place for southwestern Wilkinson. And another thing I wanted to point, you see this bottom of the screen BTI, and it shows 4.3. That is a product that we have that tells us the likelihood of a tornado to develop. The closer you are to 10, the more likely you could have a tornado spin up. Once you're over 5, then that's when we really have to pay attention. But additionally, it's more than likely producing some hail, large, severe hail, so 1.25 in diameter. So we have to watch for that. But again, Jay, are you seeing any major rotation with this? Actually, Brandon, are you seeing anything major with this at the moment?
Yeah, for the storm that is in Mississippi, if you want to switch back over to weather 1, I am seeing some tight rotation with this system. It is crossing over just now north of 24 right here, and is moving to the northeast. So we are seeing that rotation. It will be heading toward Gloucester over here near Highway 24 and Highway 33 as well. So this is showing some decent rotation with this. Going back over to reflectivity, we can see these bright purple, pink colors as well. So this could be indicative of some heavy rainfall as well as some hail. Which is possible with this system as it moves. So going back over to our velocity product, we can see that rotation. So there it is right here, just north of Highway 24, heading toward the northeast. So if you are anywhere and near Gloucester or traveling on the roads, you want to pull over and get away from the rotation. If you are in a home, you want to make sure that you are in that safe place right now. Should already be there. And zooming out, looking at the overall polygon for this warning does include Liberty as well, but the storm does have a more northeasterly movement with it. But going back over to our storm that is in West Feliciana and almost in, if not already, in Wilkinson County in Mississippi, looking at the reflectivity. So we do see plenty of purple and pink colors and reflectivity, which again could be some hail or some strong heavy rainfall or some strong winds as well. So it is looking now, it is in Wilkinson County in Mississippi. Going back over to our velocity, we can really see that rotation between the reds and the greens, where that rotation is currently sitting at over. So there is where that rotation is, where a possible tornado could be. Again, it is radar indicated, heading toward the northeast. Going to be passing close over to Woodville and as well as Highway 61 possibly. Ashley, you see any updates on your end?
I am watching the one part of the tornado warned storm in Wilkinson and then moving into Amite County. This is the one that we are most concerned of at this time because, let me take some of this clutter off just so you guys can see what we're talking about, a better feel of what we're talking about at the moment. So it does appear as though as this tornado warned storm, the rotation is starting to tighten up a good bit, and so that tells us that, again, this is radar indicated, no official reports of a tornado touching down or anything, but that means that a tornado could be developing or imminently, or it could be on the ground. But again, we're not seeing any official reports. Centerville, you could be dealing with some light rain, but strong winds at the moment. And so this is why, even if it's quiet for you, you still want to be in that safe place. But getting closer to Whitaker, hang in there, stay in your safe place for a couple of more minutes until the most dangerous part of the storm starts to lift away from you. But this still includes Gloucester, this includes Liberty. This also includes, again, Gloucester going toward the northern portion of Amite County, Oxford, O'Neill, Busy Corner, Zion Hill, Whitecap as well. And so, Jay, are you hearing of any reports in the newsroom at the moment?
We have not heard any reports.
No reports.
No reports, but we're also, on our Facebook Live to see if you guys have any comments. We don't want you to go out or anything like that, but if you're on some of those outside of it, seeing some hail reports, so we can kind of know how strong this storm is with that hail and the strong winds that are going to be coming through. We're watching on all of our social medias to see, again, if you guys are seeing anything as well, because a lot of our stuff we're watching here is radar indicated, and that means we're seeing through our products, kind of seeing right now that the storm winds, what we're seeing, Ashley was just looking at, that's all radar indicated, and that's how all of these warnings are for the rest of these storms. We're going to watch to see how they kind of impact us. Again, it is radar indicated. We're watching on all of our social medias, both, Brandon and Ashley, they have their social medias, keeping some of those updated, and also keeping an eye on anything online as these storms keep progressing. And once again, even though they have the one that they changed to a severe thunderstorm warning, it's still going to be a strong storm that's coming through. Ashley, you seen any reports on your social end or any other?
Well, the National Weather Service did go ahead and expire the tornado warning for West Feliciana and Wilkinson, but they are still monitoring the potential for it to redevelop, perhaps, or develop a tornado again, potentially. They'll have to watch to see if it starts to spin again or it starts to rotate again. But they did go ahead and replace that with a severe thunderstorm warning. That's going to be in place until 2:45. This does include Wilkinson. This also includes Amite. So again, that tornado warning has expired. That's the one that was covering southwestern Wilkinson County, including Pinckneyville, and then closer to Fort Adams. And you can see Angola, you're fine. You're good to go right now, but you're likely still dealing with some strong winds. And then even closer to, again, Woodville, Lanehart, and then Leslie, Donegal, Wilkinson, you are now, and Woodville, you are now under a severe thunderstorm warning for the potential of 60-mile-per-hour winds, as well as large hail, about 1 inch. And then a tornado is still possible to redevelop. That's typically what we see within some of these storms. They try and rotate, they may produce a tornado, and then they recycle. So they kind of use up all their energy and then they recycle. They could start to rotate again within a couple of miles, within a couple of minutes. And so this one is a severe thunderstorm warning. You do want to still be in that safe place if you are close to Pinckneyville. Again, Fort Adams, you're doing a little better. Woodville, Donegal, Leslie, Lanehart, you want to be ready to get into that safe place if you aren't already. And even with, I want everyone to take severe thunderstorm warnings seriously. Typically, a lot of people shrug it off. We're human. We do that. It doesn't sound as important, if you will, as a tornado warning. A lot of people don't realize that severe thunderstorm warnings, they do include the potential for strong winds, straight line winds, and straight line winds can produce more or just as much damage as a tornado, a weak tornado, if you will. And so still strong winds, you want to put as many walls between you and the outside as possible. And I'll even show you guys where some of the best areas to be. We don't have basements here in Southeast Louisiana, but you can still find that interior room of your home or business. Make sure you're not by any exterior walls. You can find a bathroom. Even if you're driving, that's not the place you want to be, even again when it comes to some straight line winds, because again, they could produce just as much damage, if not more damage, than a tornado. So even just ahead of any more, should we get any more warnings, keep in mind, we still have that tornado watch in place until 7 o'clock this evening. That includes Point Coupee Parish, the Felicianas, into southwest Mississippi, and that's until 7 o'clock. Will it go till 7 o'clock? More than likely not, but we have the potential for not one, but 2 rounds of severe weather this evening as well. So if a warning is issued, even if you're not currently under this tornado warning, again, where to go, interior room with no windows, lowest level of building. If you are in a apartment building and you're wondering, well, where do I go? Find a stairwell, because typically concrete, get under those stairs. Make friends with your neighbors downstairs or find that interior room of your home, a closet, but just make sure it's not on the exterior. Grab your pets as well. Don't forget about them. You can tune into coverage. You can hunker down with your family, your pets, just get into that safe place. I mean, you might as well pay attention. You can bring some snacks. That's why we say to make sure that place is always ready and stocked. Never look for storms, and don't ever leave your safe place before we give you the all clear. And even if you don't have power, you lose your signal, your satellite, whatever, you can follow us. You can go to beourproud.com and listen to us on iHeart radio stations. We partner with them, and I'll even show you guys. You can download the free Be Our Proud weather app. It will alert you. You can also track the storms to your neighborhood as well. You can zoom in and it will alert you even if strong storms are entering your area. But here you go. This is the partners we have on the radio. If you're already listening to Christmas music, perfect. 96.1, that's where you can find us as well. Are y'all seeing anything so far? Anything?
So far on, I've been watching our Facebook feed, haven't really seen much out there, and we're just kind of hoping because we're watching these two storms, one is severe thunderstorm warning, just like Ashley said. Those are still just cause as much problems as a tornado warning, and we're seeing one towards Gloucester. Everyone should be in their safe area, and we've talked about where those are. Again, one thing I always tell you is, because you never forget it, from elementary school, is the duck and cover, and you kind of cover both the back of your head and your neck, and you can do that as well in the most interior room. This storm we're watching for till about 2:45, that tornado warning that's moving a little bit more into our northeast, getting close to Highway 24 is going to be seeing a little bit more heavier rainfall starting to get to them. Gloucester is kind of starting to see a lot of that heavy rainfall as well, getting to Highway 24 and getting to Highway 33. If you know of those areas and you're headed in those directions, maybe you want to pull over and wait while these storms kind of push through, because they are pretty fast moving. We're seeing about 24 miles per hour width of this one storm. It's going to be expected to, the main center of this, I know Gloucester is seeing quite a bit of some heavy rainfall now, about 2:16, so it's about 16 minutes. We're going to see a little bit more of that impact, where they actually are saying that the radar indicated kind of spin is right there. It's still a little further back, hasn't crossed 24 yet, but we're going to be watching as it gets closer to Gloucester. And even as we take a further look out, we've been talking about how the tornado watch is in effect till 7. We do have the possibility of seeing 1 or 2 more rounds. So even if you're further south, closer to Baton Rouge, and you're saying, okay, well, this is all in the Mississippi, we're still going to have the possibility of having some of those strong storms, because you're probably even looking outside right now. I just saw outside in Baton Rouge that we're starting to see some clear skies, and you're thinking, well, it's going to clear out, it's going to be nice today. Well, that's going to give us more energy for those storms that start to come through. So we're still in that slight risk for some strong to severe thunderstorms. We're not in that enhanced like our northern parishes of West and East Feliciana and Point Capee and our Mississippi counties, but that does not mean we can't see these strong storms quickly develop. The big threats are going to be strong winds, especially with, I know it's the holiday season. There are probably people worried about their holiday decorations. Well, if you know of some that aren't really tied down that well, I suggest if you're in the southern areas, you're going to want to watch that. But we, again, are watching this tornado warning as we hit 2:45 p.m. We're going to be keeping an update, 45 minutes still on this warning. Same for the severe thunderstorm warning as well, expires at 2:45. We're going to keep watching these storms. They are radar indicated. If you're in Gloucester, we're going to watch to actually see this, and we're going to keep you updated both on our social media, on our website, everywhere we can get you information of these storms as they keep moving. We're going to be letting you guys know.